All right, you two, we back with another one, man. Hope y'all brought y'all popcorn today, man. I'm gonna give y'all some game. Actually, I'm gonna give y'all 5 steps of game, if that makes sense. Tips, whatever you want to call it, man. If you're new to gun tubing, if you're a up and coming gun tuber like I am, if you want to call it that, a new gun content creator, firearm content creator, whatever you consider yourself, because I know there's a million different ways to word it nowadays. I don't necessarily consider myself a gun tuber because I know that name has become big for like a lot of the big names and the cliche stuff. No shade, but it's the truth. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. For all my dudes that rock with me, all my guys that are up and coming just like me, I know what I'm talking about, man. I only really consider myself that in a joking matter. You know what I mean? But in reality, man, I'm just a firearms content creator. That's what I consider myself. YouTuber, that's fine too, but the gun tuber name is used differently nowadays. You know what I mean? For who it's considered for. Not really for guys like me who's up and coming. Which I'm okay with that because I still consider myself to be a small, channel. I don't get big headed off things like that. I mean, I started off with literally 2 subscribers, 3 subscribers, and I've been working my way up there ever since. Ever since I've been working my way up here ever since. And I do appreciate every one of y'all that tune in with me. My supporters that come back, my day ones. If you're new to the channel, whatever, it's all support at the end of the day. I do appreciate it. But, I still consider myself a small channel. I'm a humble person. I'm a humble guy. I'm a pretty regular dude, man. You know what I mean? I know I get up on here and I talk smack to y'all. Sometimes I give y'all reviews. Sometimes I just try to give y'all some game. Whatever it may be, I give y'all that, in all honesty, because I'm not perfect and I don't know everything. I don't even know everything about guns. I just really started getting into guns a couple years ago. I've always liked guns from when I was a kid, from the movies and the games and stuff like that. But I really started taking firearms seriously just a few years ago. So there's still a lot of things I don't know, man. So sometimes I might talk about stuff, and at the end of the day, I'm just giving y'all game from my experience. But nonetheless, let's get right to it. 5 reasons why, 5 things that could really help you if you're making firearms content, you're new to it, that helped me, that could help you as well. Things that I've learned from making this content. I've learned a lot over these last almost going on 3 years now that I've been making content. YouTube, for the purpose of this video, man, we're not discussing anything to do with sales. I have no sales on this channel. This channel does not promote any sales whatsoever. The gun is clear as you can see. It's in the depressed position. There's nothing in there. You can see clear as day that there's no round in there. I do have my 2 mags right here. There is ammunition in them, but there is no ammunition in this gun. So please don't flag me. Like I said, no sales and firearm safety all the way to the fullest. That's what we practice the most on this channel, man. So yeah, y'all, my bad. I had to get the disclaimers out there because you already know how they be doing us. And I'm just not trying to get flagged, man. I don't want to catch no heat on this channel. This channel is a safe channel, and that's how we're going to continue doing things. But anyway, back to the video. 5 things that I learned, man. And I'm going to start with the first one. Don't buy into the gun hype. And the reason why I'm telling you that, like I just said, is from my own experience. So I could speak on it because I've literally lived it. I've been through it. I've made all the mistakes I'm telling you on now. And they could be looked at as mistakes or however you want. But don't buy into the gun hype. But don't buy into the gun hype, meaning don't get every gun that you see coming out new. I don't care if it's a 5.7 or the newest 45 or the newest 10 millimeter. Listen, man, I done bought it all. I ain't gonna sit here in front like I had every gun, but when I first got into firearms back in 2020, 2021, I literally was buying up every gun that I could see, get my hands on, anything that was new. And the thing I learned most from that is it's not worth it, because when you finally find that firearm that you're comfortable, like this one that you see in front of me, which yes, is obviously a Glock. You can call me a Glock boy or Glock fanboy, whatever you want to call it. It's the best firearm in the world. You can argue with me in the comments if you want, but I just shoot them the best, man. And I didn't get here overnight. A Glock wasn't my first gun. I've had other handguns. I've had other guns before I even got into Glocks. but I'm happy I did because it led me to where I'm at today. Meaning that I've, I purchased a Glock. Eventually, I made my way there to the dark side. Got me a Glock, loved it. Got me another Glock, loved it, and so forth. And even after I bought my Glocks, I still was buying other firearms. You know what I mean? I've had a Canic, I've had a Ruger 5.7, I've had a Ruger 40. I literally had a bunch of different guns. I went through the dagger phase, like literally, and all roads led me right back here, man. I don't shoot not one gun so far that I've shot better than my own Glocks. And, I've had a few different Glocks. I haven't had too many. Right now I got two, but I've had other Glocks as well. I've shot SIGs. I've shot Berettas. I don't know, man. I'm just comfortable with shooting Glocks. Not saying that all of you are gonna feel that way, but I am. So that brings me to know that I don't need to get every new firearm that comes out. And you may feel like you might want the newest firearm for other reasons. You might want to get it on the channel, because that's what I used to say. Oh, I'm gonna get it on the channel. I wanted the Echelon for 2 years. I've like literally I BS'd on that gun for 2 years. I kept pushing it back until I finally scratched that itch. I finally got it. I liked it for a few months, man. I carried that gun for like 4 months. What happened? Got sick of it, man. I realized that when I actually started shooting it more, I actually hated it. I wasn't really a fan of how it shot. And I had the comp model, which is the one that's supposed to shoot flatter, quote unquote. Them comps are just another big hype to just sell y'all, man. They sell y'all with that stuff. And I personally don't really like it, because I feel like my Glock 19X shoots flatter than my Echelon. Now, a lot of y'all gonna argue with me over that. Maybe I didn't shoot it enough. I mean, I've only put a couple hundred rounds through it. Close to 700 rounds I had through it. But it was enough to know that I just wasn't really a big fan of it. I like it. It's a nice gun. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful design, nice serrations, double undercut, mag well, extended mags out the box, YouTube compliant, of course, but out the box, nice beaver tail, nice texturing, everything you could think of in a gun, man. And look where it brought me. Still brought me back here. So it's just going for me to show y'all, to tell y'all and show y'all that it doesn't matter what gun you got your eyes on. When you find that gun that you like, practice with that gun, get good with that gun. If it's something that you really truly like, then just stick with that. You don't need to get every new gun that comes out. You don't need to get the newest M&P, the newest CZ that comes out just to get it on your channel for content. Because I'm telling you, man, the money ain't gonna add up. You know what I mean? If you're thinking that gun's gonna make you a whole lot, it's just not gonna add up, man. I'm telling you. Just learn from my experience of what I'm telling you. I bought multiple different firearms because I wanted to get it to the channel, and share with the viewers. At the end of the day, I've decided back to buying what I like. If y'all want to watch these videos with me and look at the guns that I review, these are the guns that are to my liking, what I like. You know what I mean? I'm not buying it because, somebody wants me to get on the channel. I don't have money like that. I'm not some big gun tuber that gets guns sent to me. Now, if that was the case, then so be it. If y'all want to chip in and y'all want me to test this gun out, hey, look, here you go. All right, say no more. I'll go and buy that gun gladly. I'll run that gun to the ground, run 1,000 rounds through it, 500 rounds, whatever you want. But I'm not going to be going out of my way, spending my hard-earned money to go buy these guns, for viewers that might not even care for it, when I'm perfectly fine with what I got right here. You know what I mean? So that's my first reason of, things that I've learned over time of doing this content, giving y'all this game, you know what I mean? And, making this firearm content, that's my first reason of, something that I learned that I had to make the mistake on. And, maybe this could help you guys. Like I said, man, y'all watching this, y'all trying to start a channel. Some of these reasons that I'm giving y'all might actually help y'all, some of this advice, whatever you want to consider it. The second one, man, don't think that you need a million guns to start a channel, because I started a channel with maybe 3 or 4 guns, and I thought that I need to go out and buy multiple guns to do my videos and do my shorts and have a background. And right now y'all probably sitting here and I got 10 Glocks on the table. But in reality, you don't need that. Y'all see what I got right now? I got my EDC with my mag, my backup mag, and my EDC mag and my spare mag. That's all y'all got right here. And a little mat. You know what I mean? Sometimes it could be different. Sometimes I might throw some extra guns in the video, but I don't have a whole lot of guns. That's the whole thing. I don't have 20 guns. I don't have 30 guns. You know what I mean? I've had more guns and I've had less guns. There's times where I had more guns. There's times where I had less guns. I might have let some go. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to make content because I only have one firearm. And that's something that I had to learn. You don't need to go out and buy a million firearms for you to have content. When you see these big YouTubers out here, they got millions of subscribers and got a whole room full of guns and a whole wall full of guns. Those guys earned it. You know what I mean? They got to that point. They might have already been into guns before YouTube. They might have already had money to afford that. Everybody doesn't come up the same way, and eventually, obviously now if they're in the million mark subscribers or they're in the 100,000 mark subscribers, some of them might actually be getting firearms sent to them from companies to test out. So now that makes it even easier for them to acquire more firearms and be able to make one video a day of a different firearm and give you guys content for a whole year just on one firearm a day. If that's what they desire to do, what they choose to do. But for someone like me, I can't do that. I can't go out and buy a new firearm every week to unbox and show y'all the newest, greatest thing, because at the end of the day, where's that going to leave me at? I'm a regular person just like y'all. Y'all might see me sitting up here on camera and making content. It's not that easy, man. You know what I mean? When you don't have many firearms to work with, you got to make a way. You have to make your own content up. You know what I mean? Which is why I tell y'all, you don't need 40 or 50 guns. You don't need a million guns. You could literally have this one gun right here in front of me that you see and make tons of content with it. You know what I mean? You can call yourself the 357 guy. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm giving you advice right now. If this is all you got, call yourself the 357 guy, the 9mm guy, the 40 guy, and just make content with that one gun until you prosper up, be able to get yourself enough funds to go and get yourself more, firearms for the channel. But even if you make it to that point, there's no need for it. You don't need to get a new gun every week just to basically, give content to your subscribers. You can come up with other ideas because I'm telling you, you're going to go broke doing that, man. You're going to end up spending way too much money on firearms that you don't even want just so you can give your followers, your subscribers content, or you can give them better content with maybe one firearm, more meaningful content instead of just unboxing a new gun. I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that because I've done it. You could look on my channel. I've got, a few different unboxing videos that I've given y'all, not a whole lot, but enough that, it was letting me know, like, hold on, I don't need all these guns. You know what I mean? Like, I can literally give y'all content with 2 or 3 guns. And that's what I resorted to. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. And that's going to lead me to my next reason. Number 3, voice your own opinion, man. At the end of the day, don't listen to none of these YouTubers out here, man. None of these guys, I don't care how long they've been shooting guns. I don't care if they're, what they call that, man, a FUD. Or one of these boomers out here that's telling y'all that they've been shooting for 40 plus years. I get people like that all the time in my comments. And don't get me wrong. Sometimes I actually learn stuff. You know what I mean? I had a guy comment on my video the other day and broke down a whole, like, probably 2 or 3 paragraphs about the 357 SIG that I had no idea about. You know what I mean? And it actually helped me out. And I actually wrote him back and told him, I appreciate it because some comments are meaningful. They're not all ignorant. Sometimes you get good people like that might actually teach you something in the comment section. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And I definitely, appreciated him for leaving that comment. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you might get meaningful, but then sometimes a lot of the stuff you find on YouTube is just people, Mr. Know-it-alls, you know what I mean? Telling you what they think is best for you to carry. And really, this could be your favorite gun, and somebody might tell you that's the worst gun in the world. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like to crap on Glock. You know that. If you watching gun channels heavy and you heavy on the gun content on YouTube, you're going to see enough hate on these guns. And a lot of people just praise what they want to praise, But to be honest, a lot of those new guns are crap, man. And you really could EDC an old gun. There's nothing wrong with EDC an old gun. If it works, why not? Because a lot of these new guns don't even work. They come out and they don't even work, man. And then they got the nerve to price them so high that you can't even afford it. You can only wish to buy one. But then when you end up finding out that they don't work, what is the point of even wanting one anymore? When you want to spend your hard-earned money on something that doesn't work and you could EDC an older gun just like this. Yeah, it might be big and blocky. It might not be the nicest gun, but it works at the end of the day. You're not going to have problems with it. You'll have problems with something else before you have problems with this gun. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by voice your own opinion. If you want to carry a Glock 26, if you want to carry a Glock 45, If you want to carry a Glock 42 for all I care, that's your own opinion. That's an opinionated fact. If you feel like that's your favorite or best EDC for you, you don't have to worry about what this gun tuber said because he got 1 million subscribers. So automatically now what he says is basically valid because he has a big following. That doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you feel as though your Taurus G3C is better than that SIG, then hey, be my guest. And to be honest, I'll carry a Taurus before I carry a SIG. And you know why? I don't even gotta say it. I ain't gonna round nobody up on this video, man. You could holler at me in the comment section if you want about that, but in all honesty, I'd rather carry a Taurus over a SIG, man. I truly mean that. I just don't trust them guns. But we not here to bash anybody, man. Just letting y'all know that just because they tell you the SIG is the best gun or CZ is the best gun or Walter is the best gun or even the FN, that doesn't mean that you have to run with that. Because I used to be like that. I bought a Glock 26 and immediately felt outdated. Because when I went on YouTube, what did I find? A bunch of people praising the P365 and all these other guns that don't even hold up as well as the Glock 26. Rusting, rusted magazines. And I'm not saying that they're all like that. You know, because I was a fan of the X Macro. I actually wanted it. And thank God I never pulled the trigger on it because why would I want to spend almost $1,000 on a gun if, you know, it's just going to rust and not show up? You know what I mean? And in some cases, a lot of them were jamming. I've actually shot a 365 regular, the first version that came out, and literally jammed on me the first mag. And it was a friend of mine's. It wasn't even mine. He got it. I shot it. It locked up on me. And, you know, I was like just surprised because SIG is supposed to be the best gun. But I know this video is not about SIG, but it's just a point, as an example that a lot of these gun tubers will try to sell you on a gun that you don't even want when the gun you might be already carrying could be the best gun for you. And I wish I would have known that before I went out and started thinking, damn, well, maybe if I get a Canic or maybe if I get this with a better trigger on it, it'll work better. And in reality, I couldn't shoot that gun to save my life. I got rid of it immediately, gone within a month. And I spent a lot of money on that gun. I won't give you the price, but I spent a lot of money on that gun. Fully loaded out the box, holster, everything you could think of. I hated that gun. Worst money I've ever spent is buying that Canic. Who cares about the trigger? I like my heavy Glock triggers, man. At the end of the day, this is all you need right here. What sponginess? That's all you need right there, man. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that tactile reset. First off, you hear that break nice and crisp. Come on, man. There's no audible reset that good, man. That works that good in my book. And I've shot a lot of different handguns. This trigger is perfectly fine. Yes, I upgraded my 19X, but it's still OEM Glock trigger at the end of the day. I won't do that to any of my other Glocks that I've ever had or have now. But this trigger is fine. If that's all you want to run without the box, man, that's all you need. And it's just my point that you don't need to go off what everyone else is saying. If you want to carry a brick, carry a brick. Don't listen to these gun tubers, man. They will get you in trouble and they will have you spending money you don't have for guns that you don't even want. Which leads me to my next reason, number 4. Closed mouths don't get fed. What do I mean by that, man? When you start making a name for yourself on here, you know, you don't have to have 10,000 subscribers. You don't have to have 50,000 subscribers. Listen, you could be at 1,000 subscribers. You know, reach out to some of these companies, man, because I always thought that, damn, how do you get companies to, you know, endorse you or whatever the case may be? You know what I mean? Be able to, how y'all getting stuff sent to y'all? I always thought the companies will reach out to you after a certain point and they will, you know, see you got a certain following and be able to want to work with you. Well, I'm here to tell you that that doesn't always happen, man. Sometimes you got to be the one to be the bigger man and reach out to them, write them, email them, let them know, hey, look, I got a following. You know, I would like to test out some of your products. You know, what can I do? You know, I won't give any names right now, but I'm in the process of working with some people just to kind of bring some reviews. One of them I'll give an honorable mention because I've been wanting to work with them for a while. 945 Industries. I'm actually in the process of working with them, so shout out to them. The guy's name is Alex, I think, that I spoke with. So, you know, I'm gonna be doing some testing with their the 945 holster bags, the like the crossbody style, because I actually like that. I just always wish that they made something like that where you don't have to carry a gun just blatantly in the bag where it's just jumping around and bouncing around and could potentially something could go off in there and make the trigger depressed. That's just me. The chances of that happening might be slim to none, but I don't know that. So I like the fact that they made something with a host. I think that's dope, and they definitely been on the rise. So basically, that's my whole point, is that sometimes you have to reach out to these companies, man. If you want to work with people, you can't just sit around all day expecting for them to get out to you, because there's probably millions of other people writing to them, and they're probably also reaching out to a million other people that they might want to work with, that they might see have a name for themselves, and they might want them to test products, you know what I mean, to help them out. So at the end of the day, your name is not going to matter if you don't reach out sometimes. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person and say, hey, you know what, I'm not too good for this stuff. Why not? And that's what I did. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm sure there's plenty of other guys out there that do the same thing. I thought differently, but I had to figure it out that you can't just always think that things are gonna go your way out here. You have to speak up for yourself. Which leads me to my next one, number 5. Make a lane for yourself, man. And basically what I mean by that, pretty much self-explanatory. My fault, y'all. I'm not trying to cut the video out and edit that part out. I had to take a sip of my little Capri Sun real fast. But yeah, man. Capri Sun, if y'all watching this video, man, sponsor your boy. I don't know if y'all do that, but I do always have Capri Suns in my video, not showing, but y'all want, that's what I'm drinking, man. Nothing better than a nice cold Capri Sun while you're doing your videos. They got me through a lot of videos when I'm getting cotton mouth. But anyway, yeah. Make a lane for yourself, man. That's gonna be my last and final one. My number 5. Make a lane for yourself. Don't think that you have to always go off what other people are doing. Because once again, a mistake that I made, man. And I don't necessarily think it's a mistake. It's more of a learning curve. When I first got on here, I thought that I could just make shorts and videos about anything firearm related. I was all over the place. And as y'all can see now, if y'all been rocking with me, y'all kind of can see my content is kind of shifting. And I'm kind of trying to stick more to a certain type of format that I want to use, kind of shying away from shorts and things like that. I was also doing a lot of gun show videos. A lot of those were kind of getting flagged. And I see a lot of other people doing it. Maybe they have a loophole through it that I didn't. But it's tiring, man. Not even just about, getting flagged for them and getting yellow marked, but more so just like you spend all day over there filming and having to cut down and edit your videos, and it's just a lot, man. You know what I mean? I don't really find a joy in that. I enjoy making videos on my table, on my desk. I really enjoy doing range footage for y'all, and I know I haven't got out to the range. I haven't really had much range content for y'all. I do plan on bringing some more. I actually been looking for outdoor range, which is why I've been putting the brakes on that, because I haven't had time to get to the range anyway. But if I do, I want to try to get out to an outdoor range where I could shoot more different calibers, different type of rounds that I have, like green tips and things like that, that's more appropriate for the outdoor ranges that indoor ranges don't really allow, because they're backstops and all things of that nature I don't really want to get into. But a lot of the ranges around where I'm at are not built the best, so I can't really shoot the type of ammo that I have all the time, which sucks. Steel case, green tip, you name it. So that's the reason why I haven't really got a lot of range content for y'all, but I do plan on getting some out there this summer, man, so do be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I was all over the place, man, just trying to see what worked for me. Gun show footage, how-tos. A lot of that stuff is just, honestly, it's pointless sometimes, because there's a million other people doing that. You want to kind of try to give your viewers something a little different, even if it's slightly different. Obviously, some of your content is going to be the same as others. There's only but so much stuff you could probably talk about or think about when you're doing these firearm videos and making firearm content, whether it be an unboxing, which I do like doing those. Just haven't got anything new for y'all for me to unbox. But when I do, y'all be the first to know about it, man. But yeah, just try to make a lane for yourself. Try to figure out what works for you. There's so much things you could talk about, even though it may seem limited, but there is a lot of things you could talk about and you could help out with your viewers and also gain subscribers like that, whether it be trying to talk to them about experience at a gun range, how you got better at shooting, how long you've been shooting, what's the best type of caliber for beginners. There's so many different things you could talk about. And that's kind of what I'm kind of resorting to, kind of being able to just give y'all more game videos and like, advice videos that could actually help y'all out, that helped me out, because I've made these mistakes already. So if y'all are on the rise and want to make content, maybe these type of videos could help y'all out to not be able to make those same mistakes, to kind of keep you going on a straight loop. And that doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes. You still might watch this video and still make those same mistakes. You know what I mean? Just out of curiosity, you might see a couple guns that come out that you might want to get your hands on, and then realize later on down the line that you probably never needed that to make content. That's, at least that's what happened with me. Um, but it's not a bad thing, man. You know what I mean? I know this video is super long. I just feel like these 5 reasons are important for a lot of my viewers, and just kind of giving y'all a take on who I really am, man, and the mistakes I made to get here. I'm a regular person just like y'all. I know a lot of times I don't show myself on camera. It's just the type of format that I like to film on. And I like to give y'all more of the gun and less of my face. Y'all can care less about what I look like at the end of the day. But it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Not saying that I ever won't show myself on camera. It's just this format just works for me. It's a little better. And that's just pretty much what it is, man. I normally don't make videos this long, but like I said, I just wanted to get this out there to y'all, kind of help y'all out. Like I said, if y'all trying to start a new channel, or y'all thinking about starting a new channel, making firearm content, there is a lot of things that you have to understand about this YouTube game. You know what I mean? And I'm still learning. I'm not some veteran. I only been out here for almost 3 years. So I'm still new to the game myself, man. At the end of the day, don't think I got it all mapped out just because I'm giving y'all some game or some advice. I'm able to give y'all that because I made these mistakes already. So you might be able to make some mistakes on your channel, on your experience, on your journey, that later on down the line, you might actually be able to make content on that and be able to help some other people that are just starting out. Because this video may not get out to everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody might not see this video. They might see your video first. So you know what I mean? It's just a little bit of something to be able to run with, some advice that might help you out on your way. I'm not gonna make this video too much longer, man, but definitely try to make a lane for yourself, man. There's so many different ways to make this firearm content as there is to make other content. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna leave the video here for y'all, man. If y'all made it this far, I really, really, truly appreciate y'all for tuning in and subscribing, liking, sharing the video, man. I appreciate each and all of y'all for doing that. And continue to do that, because it does help me out on the algorithm, man. I hate saying that, but sometimes I have to get my name out there, to get my channel out there. You know what I mean? So whether you like the video, even if you don't subscribe, share the video, comment. I really do appreciate comments, because I like to engage with my people when, y'all watching and y'all commenting. It just makes me be able to get a little personal with y'all in the comment section. You know what I mean? So y'all don't think I'm just some bot or something like that. Like, I am a regular person. Once again, like I said, man, I'm not no different from anyone on here. But yeah, man, like I said, if y'all rocked with me for this long, for the duration of the video, I really do appreciate y'all, man, more than y'all ever know. So I'm going to leave this one here for y'all. I hope this helps y'all out. Otherwise, man, I'm going to catch you on the next video, man. Y'all be safe out there. Stay strapped as always.